brands. Diamond 4.0, on the other hand, is more laser focused. It's specifically engineered by DJ Marcellus and the Both Lighting team for their fixtures. We're talking high.
What did he say?
For their fixtures.
What? No, dude!
Well, Joe, I guess I need to make more videos. Let me show you guys something. What's going down, guys? DJ Marcellus Doe here, bringing you another tip and trick video on how to hot swap fixtures inside of SoundSwitch, and let alone our SoundSwitch projects that we have pre-programmed. Now, recently Joe Bond made a video about this, talking about our project, and mentioned that our project only allows for both lighting fixtures. But I'm here to set that straight today. Appreciate the video, Joe. Great video, but it is a little misguided, and we're going to get into that. So with using Capture today, I have this setup here. As you can tell, majority of these are both lighting fixtures. So we're rocking 360 tubes, Aurora 1915s, and some IR4s. So what we're going to swap in or add to this show today, so I'm going to keep my Auroras, right? We own Auroras, we want to keep those going. But let's just say we don't own 360 tubes and we want to add in some existing movers, okay? So with the movers we're going to add in are the ADJ Focus Spot 2Xs, and then the tubes we're going to add in are the Stair AX1 pixel tubes. Now for the focus spots, we will be adding those in on 18 channel mode, and for the AX tubes, we will be using mode 54 for those. So what we want to do is make sure we jump over to SoundSwitch in your project. So we're going to switch screens here, jumping over to SoundSwitch. The auto loop I have running there is my Rainbow Fade Chill auto loop. So I'm just going to pause that for the time being, and I'm going to look in my DMX guide here and see what fixtures I want to swap out. So because I'm not using BPM spots here, I'm going to go ahead and swap out my focus spots for the BPM spots, or swap out the BPM spots for the focus spots. So to swap that out, you want to make sure you're on the track layout for SoundSwitch. You want to click this little plus button up here above the tracks. So I'm going to look for my fixtures. So we're going to go ADJ, and then maybe under here is American DJ. Yep. And then we're going to do focus spot 2X. And remember, I said I'm in 18 channel mode. So look in here. I'm going to look for my BPM spots. Alrighty, so here you can see I'm now clicked onto my BPM spots. And what you want to do is alt click and then drag. Now when you drag over that fixture, you should see this little like recycling icon. This is giving you the notification that you're about to swap your fixture. Okay, so I'm going to drop this over to this BPM beam, and then it's going to give me this warning message. With this warning message, it says this will replace the fixture in the venue with the fixture drag from the library. This operation is not undoable, and completing this will clear the undo history. If the new fixture has less cells than the old fixture, tracks will be removed, resulting in lost data. So this is a great example for this fixture because their modes are not very similar, and with the BPM spots you have that halo ring, so that gives you another field to program inside the SoundSwitch. So that's why if you look over here, you can see we got two BPM spot tracks, but one is 1.1 or 2.1 and then 2.2. So we're going to go ahead and click OK there. We're just going to do the same thing for this one. Alt click over. And you can see there I didn't click it properly. So this is the symbol you don't want when dragging on the track. So I'm just going to bring that back to reset it, ensure that I'm alt clicking. And now it gives me the ability to swap that track again. So now I'm going to hit OK. And then we're going to come over to Capture and kind of get that program. So what we need to do is patch those fixtures into Capture. Going to go ahead and click on DMX. And you can see because those BPM spots have way more channels, there's some gaps here in between the channels now. So that's really up to you as a user on how you want to organize your channels. But I'm going to go ahead and slide both of those channels in, giving us 103 and 121 for our fixtures. So setting our focus spots up, since this is my right side looking at my setup, that's going to be my blue focus spot there. And so I'm going to go ahead and assign that to 121, and then we're going to assign the other focus spot to 103. Okay, so now you can see here how our fixtures are mapping up on this side, but not mapping up on the right side over here. This is because in SoundSwitch, I activated the pan tilt to make the programming easier. So jumping over to SoundSwitch, you can just click on the position or any position you have and then pop it up. So we can see that the left focus spot, the left aurora, and then the right aurora is good, but the right focus spot is not okay. So what you want to do is just scroll down and activate pan tilt on that blue fixture. And then I jump over here to SoundSwitch and let this play. You will see that all our fixtures are mapped and working correctly. Now, there are a couple little extra things that you need to do with some of the more advanced fixtures, like movers or pixel mappable fixtures, or things with like halo rings. We're going to talk about the gobos. So first, with gobos, we have a folder in our project. So in a gobo folder, you want to just double check to make sure your gobos are set correctly. Now, when setting gobos and attribute queues in SoundSwitch, a useful thing to note is that any non-selected attribute queue will carry over to the next attribute queue. So in this one, we have our gobo 1, and you can see it kind of preset some of the settings here, but not all channels are the same. So when swapping out some of those fixtures, some of these attribute queues won't be set correctly. So with gobo 1, we want to make sure our gobo's on 0, our prisms all the way down, and our focus is all the way up for this fixture specifically. Now, I don't necessarily need function activated for this fixture, so I'm going to deselect that. It's not going to be useful for programming my gobos. So I'm going to hit apply, and then I'm going to jump down to gobo 2 and scroll down to those focus spots to check those as well. And as you can see here, it added in the prism, and we can see how that looks over here in capture. You can kind of see the prism a little bit from that. So we want to clean that prism up a little bit, disengage function, and adjust that focus a little bit. And that may not even be the correct prism value for this fixture. So we jump it up there, and you can see I got a little bit better of a prism there. We can adjust that focus again till we get it right where we want it. I'm just gonna look around the room, see if those things are even hitting those back walls, so I can see over there. So I'm just gonna pause that so I can keep on the wall. So apply that real quick, and then jump back into that gobo. Now I'm on that gobo, adjusting that focus now. So now for this gobo, we want the focus all the way at the top as well. So you can see we got our 5 circle gobo, and just apply that. And you see it jump back because on this main one, we have just a basic circle gobo. So you will have to do that and just verify with all your gobos, as some of the attributes will transfer over, but some of them may be incorrect. So now that our movers are set up, I'm gonna show you guys how to hot swap tubes. So coming down here in our project, just jumping slowly over to SoundSwitch, I'm gonna look for our tube 1, 2, 3, and 4 channel here. And now for tubes, the way that they program multi-fixture tubes is they add it to one group here. So this is one tube, each individual zone that is programmed inside of here. So to swap that out, it's pretty much the same method. We're going to go ahead and pull up the fixture library, look for Astera, AX1, and we're using mode 54, okay? So we're just gonna alt click and then drag over onto that first fixture and apply and hit OK. And we're going to do this with the rest of our Astera tubes, or the rest of our both lighting tubes, swap them over to the Astera. And you need to make sure you have that folder open and clicking on the first cell of each fixture. So now that I have all of my Asteras in, I'm going to jump back over here to my front view inside of Capture here. So you can see my tubes are just kind of non-existent now. I'm not really working with the programming. So I'm going to go ahead and unpatch those. So now in our Capture project over here, we're just going to patch these in to the channels that was existing before inside of SoundSwitch. Now there is a little overlay with the Astera tubes. In my previous trials and helping customers with Astera tubes, that one channel didn't play a role in how much it affected the light show. So you will see that once I go ahead and add these. So our first tube is 193. Now if I hit done here and play this rainbow scene again, let me go ahead and turn that off. You can see here inside the capture that now my Astera tubes are doing the same pixel mapping that my both lighting tubes were before. And now I just incorporated Astera tubes into my pre-programmed package that wasn't originally in there before. Now the biggest thing when adding any sort of fixture is one, does the fixture use attribute queues? If the fixture uses attribute queues, you will have to re-sign the attribute queues. 2, does the fixture use movement? If the fixture uses movement, you will have to program or verify that those positions and everything is set up from pan to tilt, your actual positions, and then your gobos. 3, if you're using a pixel mappable fixture like Astera tubes, both lighting tubes, etc., then you want to make sure that you're using a relatively close channel mode, because if you're not, then it's just going to delete any of those extra channels that aren't included on your new fixture. So you may lose out on some of the programming when it comes to the pixel mappable stuff. And then lastly is your static scenes. So I'm going to show you what I mean by your static scenes. Whenever you import a new fixture, it doesn't send over your data from your static scenes as well, like it kind of do with the attribute queues when hot swapping them. So what you want to do is you can do this as you use it basis, but ensure that you program your static scenes. So I got the static blue and white activated. It's obviously not engaged, so I'm going to, or it's not active on my focus spots or my Astera tube. So I'm going to right click, hit edit, and then find those fixtures inside of my project. So we can see here are the Asteras. I can click on those, and you can color each individual cell, or you can color a full tube itself. So we want to activate it, turn the brightness all the way up, and then we're going to go ahead and make them all blue. And now since this is a blue and white, I could then want to make my 2 inner tubes all white. So I'm just going to individualize those 2 inner tubes and make them all white. And we want pure white on that. So same with 2, 3. Apply. So now we got our tube set up in our blue-white static scene again. But next we need to set up our focus spots. So I never like having my movers working when in a static scene, so I always put them on X up or super X up. So now our movers set to X up, and then we want to assign a color, and we won't assign white. As you can tell, it doesn't have a good white, and there's no pure white. Okay, so we're going to just do blue for this one. Then we just make sure it's a pure blue 255, apply. And then we want to turn the brightness all the way up and hit OK. So now we're set up in our static scene with our new fixtures as well. But that is how you can swap over fixtures inside of a SoundSwitch project for any project that is out there kind of on the market. So it does take some work and effort depending on the fixtures that you're trying to swap in. If you're doing something basic like uplights, wash lights, super simple. If you're doing something a little bit more advanced like 360 tubes, a little easier in my opinion than movers, because movers have the most amount of attributes. So once again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe down below, and let me know any tips or tricks that you guys want to see in future videos, or if you just want to continue learning more about SoundSwitch in general.